Okay, let's do this and maybe people will see me this time. Okay, unfortunately, our June, well, anyway, call to order. It is 7:03. Members present, we're all present. Hear from public. Anybody want to speak from the public? I don't think so. On the first selectmen's briefing, I don't have a lot of updates. I was on vacation Friday. The things that I have are pretty simple. Ashford School roof solar, oh wait, we'll cover that in the meeting. On our Ashford Parks and Recreation Director, we've begun receiving applications for the position. Okay. I don't think we have anything else that's not already on the agenda. Acceptance of the minutes, let's see. What I'd like to do is waive the minutes from May 6th and May 19th. And you have the minutes from April 21st and June 2nd. So they should be in your packet. You want to take a look if you haven't seen them. April 21st.
Accept April 21st.
Yeah, and thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Just a point.
Yes,
before I
sir.
vote on that. Apparently Roger wasn't here.
I was here for the April 21st meeting. I was not here for the,
Yeah, he was here for
I
April
was not here for
21st.
the May 6th or the
Right.
May
Okay,
19th.
well, I'm looking at.
You're looking at
the
April 21.
minutes Under item 2 says Silversmith. I'm sorry, never mind.
Okay,
I never read it. Yes.
Yep.
Aye.
all right. Motion
Aye.
passes. Thank you. And then acceptance of the minutes of June 2nd. That was our last meeting.
So move.
Second.
You'll also find that the presentation that was done, Christina's presentation, is there with those minutes.
you.
And that was put out as an attachment to the minutes so that the public has it.
Appreciate that.
Unfortunately, the recording for that meeting, the Zoom recording, only recorded me. You know, I don't know, looking up my own nostrils, probably. It only recorded me because the owl wasn't either plugged in or
It
not
was
working
right in front
correctly.
of you. We didn't move it out to the center of the table. I thought about.
Is that what it
after.
was?
Well, I'm gonna assume
Yeah.
we never moved it out to the center of the table.
So maybe it didn't pick up people enough to be able to show them. So, what I did was made sure that, that we had her presentation attached to the minutes so that everybody could see it. You can hear people, you just, for the most part, but you can't see. Motion for those minutes?
I moved it.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes unanimously. Okay, hear from boards, commissions, committees. We have a typo on this agenda. What it should have is, instead of Board of Finance presentation, it should be Transfer Station Committee. So may I have a motion to add Transfer Station Committee under that?
So moved.
And a second?
I'll second that. I don't think you need it, but that's. I'll second it.
Okay. Thank you. All right, so I have talked with a person who would like to join the committee. Right now, we have Keith Lipker, we have Casey. We don't have anybody else. And as you know, Chuck Atkins is unable to participate in the committee this time. So the person is.
I know with Chuck, and we discussed it our last minute, didn't want to be chairman, but he also doesn't want to be on the committee.
No, he said he's not able to.
Okay. That's too bad.
So Matt Carosi from town, who works at the Willington Transfer Station,
Yep.
has volunteered to be on the committee. I've talked with him. And so what I'd like for you to consider, he's quite experienced. He knows how that place works. He's worked there quite a while, and he already has some ideas about how we can do improvements. He lives here in town, so he goes to our transfer station. And he would very much like to be on the committee.
I'm familiar with Matt and his background and that. I will make that motion to appoint him.
Thank you, Bill.
Sorry.
And Roger. And I guess all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. And I'm
While we're talking about transfer station,
sure.
did we ask Tom Welsh whether he wants to be on there again? I know he was on for a number of years.
No, I think
The last time I saw him,
remember we're being recorded.
he was dealing with health issues.
Yeah, I know last year he had some, but I've heard he's recuperated somewhat now. I'm just curious if we offered him.
No, I did not reach out to him because I knew he had health issues.
Yeah, I know he had a.
I didn't want to put him on the spot.
he had
I haven't
tough
seen him in a
days.
long time, and he looked rather frail.
You up?
Looked frail. So I guess we can always add a person.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Tom has got a background on that, and I know he
Yeah,
likes to stay active.
yeah. So I'll do that. I'll do that reach out. I'll do a
Okay.
personal reach out to him. He's actually one of my favorite people.
Good.
Okay. As far as, let's see, we've already done that.
Now, I noticed this agenda pretty much is the same agenda that we did at our last meeting. Was that
I think
intentional?
we missed we missed a step.
Okay, okay.
Thank you for being observant.
Well, I thought I had to keep checking the date. I thought I was looking at the wrong
Deja vu.
deja vu.
So, what we do have is, as we go down through this, okay, so old business, Ashford School roof replacement project status. I reached out to Cindy Ford. I haven't gotten a response back. I want to find out if, from her perspective, if they've gotten that last ladder on the roof. And if there's anything else. I have not heard from the general contractor, other than he said he was gonna take care of everything last week. So today's Monday, I just didn't get a chance to call him.
Have we got, I know I sound like a broken record on this, and I
Yes.
apologize. But have we got the warranty yet from the general contractor?
They
I know
will
we're talking
not,
about Gaylord getting it.
they will not give the warranty until they settle their dispute.
Disputes with who?
There's
Each
a
other.
dispute between the parties.
We have no dispute with them, right?
No, but
And
you
we
gotta
paid
have,
them.
Bill, you have to, the architect and Garland are disputing with the general contractor. Okay, we can go into this under executive session.
Okay,
So I think I might have phrased it a little differently the last time I said the boys were still fighting. Okay, because that's kind of what it is. I haven't heard anything today. I would have expected to, but I didn't have time to reach out.
I mean, we can discuss that if it's potential litigation or whatever in the
Right,
executive session, but
exactly.
okay.
Okay, solar project status. MHR is reviewing the bids received by the town for the provider for the PPA solution. Well, we will also, we can talk during executive session about some aspects of that. So, we certainly received the bids and they've done their review.
Now, we received 3 bids, is that what we got?
Yes. Okay. New business. I think under board and commission appointments, we have no changes until we get down to actually Parks and Recreation Commission membership, which is not under the appointments at this point. Okay, I don't think we have any other changes. for the boards who are listed here. Not at this time. Parks and Recreation Commission membership. There is bear with me. At their last meeting, they added, at our last meeting, we approved adding Dave Roston and Amanda Holden as regular members. And during the Parks and Rec meeting after that, Dave Roston was made chairperson, and Amanda Holden was made secretary by their board, the way it should be done. The Board of Selectmen, let's just see. Neil Gordon has expressed, he's a regular member, he's expressed, and he wants to be moved to an alternate membership. And Steve Gallinet expressed interest to move to a regular membership. He's an alternate membership. He's an alternate. So that's something,
So moved.
thank you, sir.
Okay.
You agree to your second?
Mhm.
Any more discussion?
Did Neil give you that in writing, or is that just for?
No, I was at their meeting too.
Okay,
Okay, and they put it in their minutes.
okay.
Okay, and
So
they,
it's documented.
yeah. And, okay, so, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you. Okay. Like I said, the recreation director thing is out there. Okay, so continued discussion regarding appointment of Town of Ashford historian. I've received no letters, no emails expressing an interest. I have provided you with a write-up. It's out on the town website. It's gonna be out, well, we were gonna have it out there till June 30th. We can certainly leave it out there longer.
So this is about the historian?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
Are we
know,
gonna have time, since we're moving in on a deadline, to put it in the Citizen? I know last time we ran out of time, but can we put whatever you got on the webpage?
sure. What I'll do is I'll also change what's out on the website and have it go through to, bear with me, mid-July.
Now, did you give us something, or did I dream it? A description that you would pull up on responsibilities of a historian?
I gave it to you.
Okay, couldn't find it.
Okay, give me a second.
I found the job description for the rec director in that.
No, and it's
But I
out on,
didn't-
and it's
did you-
also out on
did
the
you have
webs,
it out?
it's also out on the website,
Yeah.
Bill. Okay, and in fact. Give me just a second. Second. All right, oops, don't want to download that. You could take a look at that. I'm printing it now.
There's-
I'm sorry to ask. Could you go to the printer in the kitchen and grab it?
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Bill. Thanks.
Thank you.
Anybody else need a copy?
I got that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, good. It's gonna rain tomorrow morning.
Golfing with my daughter.
Tomorrow night,
Tomorrow morning.
they have, the senior center picnic is tomorrow.
What time is that?
You have a copy for him as well? There were 2 copies? Shall we take a look at this together? If you like, I can read it out loud, and that's for the public as well.
Sure.
Okay. Ashford Town Historian is responsible for researching, preserving, and promoting the history of the town. This involves collecting and organizing historical documents, conducting research, and educating the public about the town's past. All materials produced by or in the keeping of the historian are town property and must be managed as such. Responsibilities: research and writing, investigating and documenting local history through research, writing articles, reports, and other publications about town history. May include contributing to the town's website or other media outlets. Preservation of records, managing and safeguarding historical records, documents, and artifacts. Creating and maintaining archives and databases, ensuring the long-term preservation of historical materials. Education and public engagement, providing lectures, tours, and other educational programs about local history. Collaborating with schools, historical societies, and other organizations. Responding to inquiries from the public about local history. Historical preservation, advocating for the preservation of historic buildings and sites, working with town officials on historical preservation projects, may involve nominating buildings for historical registers. Qualifications, education, a high school diploma or equivalent is required. A bachelor's degree in history or a related field is preferred. Knowledge and skills, good knowledge of local history and historical research methods, strong writing and communication skills, ability to work independently and manage time effectively, familiarity with archival practices and record management, experience in historical research, writing, or archival work is preferred. Key skills: research, ability to conduct thorough research using various sources, writing, ability to write clearly and concisely for different audiences, organization, ability to manage and organize historical records and information, communication, ability to interact with the public and explain historical concepts, interpersonal skills, ability to work with other individuals and groups. Applicants should send letter or resume outlining their qualifications to Catherine Silversmith, yada, yada, or by email by June
Now,
30th.
Where did you come up with this?
I went out onto online and looked around and cobbled together. I saw something that I thought was really good, and I kind of looked at it and I kind of honed it a little bit for us. How is it?
Well, we've never done anything like this. It's certainly very comprehensive. I don't remember ever seeing anything for that position that
This is,
even resembled this. but
this
I
is a
think
good
it-
thing?
Yeah, I think it's a good thing. It's detailed. I don't know for a volunteer position. With obviously the time that we're saying has to be put into this.
Well,
You're
know,
not gonna
there-
find anybody.
Well, one would hope that they have enough of an interest. You know, I know that we have people, for example, in the Historical Society that are not getting paid to do what they do, but they care about the town. They care about the history of the town, and, you know, they're very involved, especially this particular version of the Historical Society.
You know, when Catherine showed it to me, when she first pulled it off, that's basically what
They're
Barbara
supposed to do.
did.
Yeah.
The whole time she was town clerk,
Yeah,
and then when she got made historian, just carried on.
Yeah. But, I
so,
mean,
and
it's
it
quite
doesn't
detailed. Let's
doesn't
see if
mean
we
that
get
that
anything.
person ultimately, you know, circumstances will prevent. For example, we may not have any buildings that would be, you know, considered at this point to go on a historical register. But if we did, that's what that person would be involved with.
Yeah,
And they need to be able to work with everybody, and they need to be able to convey our history. So they're the person
Yeah.
does. One
Well,
of the
let's see
things I
what we
really
get.
wish we did, and you're supposed to do it as part of the Connecticut, the 250 thing. You're not supposed to just talk about all the great things in our history, the town's history. You're supposed to also bring forth some of the other things that happened. It's part of
you mean the controversial things,
controversial things, you could call it that.
like the 2 night stay that George Washington stayed here in town that he wasn't. too
I
happy
would
with?
say that's probably not the one. However, you know, there certainly have been some groups in town that were probably a little less savory than others.
Yeah,
And some things that happened way back when, I think, you know, one of the things I think that happened, I believe happened was back when, many years ago, there was a store in town, and you can correct me if I got it wrong. And certain people in town could only go to that store on one day a week. Everybody else could go any day. And so those kinds of things that happened, they're still part of, I don't know, the fabric of, you know, what our town
yeah,
has evolved into. And so that is one thing I happened to hear recently at the Capitol when they were talking about the Connecticut 250. And that's certainly something that was written up in the description of what Connecticut 250 was supposed to be. It's supposed to give you a colorful version, a fuller version of your town's history. And the thing is, I think people are afraid to say, oh, you know, these are some of the things that happened. But the reality is that's not happening now. It's just
we've grown,
we've grown, we've evolved.
so's the country.
Yes. So,
Well, let's see what we get.
yeah. And certainly
I just-
anybody who
I-
isn't,
I wonder, you know, you mentioned the Historical Society, if we put out for our members for the Historical Society, a list of obligations and responsibilities like this, I wonder if we get anybody to volunteer for that. You know,
from that group to do this job.
Or even just to be the volunteer.
just to be a volunteer, I mean, you know, let's see what we get though.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's
Well, you know what?
it's
Your
inclusive
historical,
of everything
You know,
that person.
I
Barbara
bet
does.
they've got
always-
something.
Barbara always shared her information.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you asked her,
Well, and if you look
question.
at her records in there, I mean, I never had a whole lot of time to spend in it, but they're meticulous. I mean,
yeah,
the way she kept everything
Yeah,
in there
and she was always willing to tell you or give you some sort of an answer, background.
And Bill, I'll bring up a piece of our past that was a little less, you know, less than perfect. I can remember talking to you many years ago. I think, how long have we lived here? We probably lived here, we've lived here 30 years. I can remember talking with you when you were first selectman and saying, you know, I keep trying to find out. I just want to help the Historical Society. I want to learn about the town. I want to put my hands into it. I was young. I put my back into it, whatever it was. And I was having trouble getting to someone to be able to even join. And then I was kind of countered with, well, we already have enough people. And it was Barbara who slipped me the phone number that I could not get to be able to contact the head of the Historical Society. So she was always willing to share information and encourage people to be involved in it. So,
You mean I wouldn't give you the number?
you didn't have it,
Oh, okay.
but you did say, let me know if you don't get it.
Okay.
And I said, promise me you won't talk to anybody, and you did. So, anyway, I remember really wanting to participate and not feeling, at the time, not feeling welcome, and there was no reason not to be welcome. So, and I was quieter then too. So anyway,
Unfortunately, a volunteer committee like that,
Yeah.
it's kind of quasi runs into a lot of personalities, sometimes
Yeah.
conflict with
we've seen it.
other potential members or existing members.
We've seen it, and it can be off-putting. Some of that can be quite off-putting to the people who really
Absolutely.
want to participate. So I think what we have, our historical society now looks like a pretty good working
It
group.
looks like a
She even went-
cohesive.
She even went down to the Ashford Academy. They had a cleaning day last,
Yeah, I
what,
heard.
Thursday or
Yeah.
Wednesday? I think the last week.
Yeah.
Can't remember what it was.
That's,
And
whatever.
you went down
Yeah.
there because there were some things you wanted to.
well,
pick
I
up.
had given Barbara class pictures from,
Yeah, I think that's when we did our interviews for treasurer, is you had gone down to get your pictures.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
That's right.
when? They're not there.
Your pictures aren't
There are
there?
copies, there are photocopies of them. So I have a sneaky suspicion I know where they are. And I'm gonna call.
Good.
So, I think that's not the way that our current historical society operates. They
Good.
seem to be pretty open, certainly willing to put their backs in if they were down there cleaning yet another day. And, so. Anyway,
Oh, for
It's good to see.
Gail Metzak's mother passed away. Beverly's, one of Beverly's sisters.
Okay. Now, she wasn't related to Val.
Val's aunt.
Val's aunt. Yeah, I knew
Yeah.
Val's aunt. Okay. Yeah, I didn't put that together. The funeral's Friday.
I'm sorry?
The funeral is Friday.
Yeah, I saw the event.
okay, this next item on the agenda, review and consider town office building lower level parking lot lighting. That is, it's left over, but it's not left over. I haven't heard anything back from Alex. Okay, as soon as we do, then it'll be back on the docket, so to
I
speak.
had the feeling he still wasn't 100%,
Yeah, I don't think he is either.
but if I certainly, before we change the clocks again, and it starts getting dark at 4:30, we hope we can have
Yeah.
it done by then.
Yep. Well, I still have a problem with it gets dark here, if anybody's here late with some of the meetings. Okay, the next thing we have on our agenda is possible executive session to discuss possible executive session to discuss possible litigation and personnel.
Can I put in one amusing thing before you do that?
Sure.
Amuses.
First
Amuse
time I
us.
ever went to Intervene Funeral Home was with you for John Blas's mother or father. And I remember pulling into the parking lot. So here's the funeral home and here's the building over here. And it says furniture store.
I
Sorry.
remember that.
Still makes me smile.
Okay, what I'll do is when, I need a motion to go into executive session and a second.
So move.
Second?
Okay, all in favor? Aye. And we are going into executive session at 7:32, and with that, I'm going to shut down the Zoom portion of the meeting, and the rest will be covered in the meeting minutes.